Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, my beautiful angels. How are you doing today? How are you feeling? I hope you're ready because today we have a beautiful soul aligned angel. Her name is Natalie Woodman. She's a psychic embodiment and business mentor. She's a medical intuitive, a trauma aware master Akasha consultant, an advanced pranic healing specialist, and a two-time international best-selling author. Natalie, how are you today? It's so great to have you here.
Hi, Veronica. It's wonderful to be here. I've just been having the most magical day, the most magical week. So I feel so excited for what is going to be coming through in our
I know you're in
conversation.
the land of Kauai, so we're gonna get some of that mana infused in this interview. I'm excited.
Yeah, let's see what wants to come through.
Let's dive deep. How about we
Sure.
begin with the soul? How to live a life aligned with your soul and your soul's mission.
Oh, wow. When your soul speaks, you cannot avoid listening to her, hearing, and following that calling. That has been my experience. And you aren't going to want to avoid that calling because what unfolds on your journey is true magic. You know, all you have to do is be courageous and brave enough to take the first step. And then just keep taking the next step and the next step and the next step. And everything else aligns en route, unfolds. And there's so much magic. There's so much magic and awesomeness that awaits you on the other side of that decision, of taking that step, and of being fully grounded in your soul path. Because there's a period of where you say, yeah, yes, I am. Yes, I am. But then you're not all in, you're not all there. And I think things really start to unfold and unpack and gain momentum is when you are fully on your soul led path.
Mm. Can you share a little bit about your story, how you were pushed into your soul path when you were
Sure.
listening? I'm just channeling this for you for some reason.
Okay. So, oh, for the last 20 years, I've been on my soul path, but it will just rewind to the last 15 months. I was walking to work one morning, as I do, as a physio. I'd been a physio for 26 years, been in my practice for like 15 years at the time. And it was just felt like another day, another beautiful day. I was watching the sunrise, walking to work, and I just heard this voice. It's time. It's time. Your time in the UK is up, and it's time to go back home. The land is calling, the ocean is calling, the mountains are calling, your ancestors are calling. It's time to go home. They said, it's time to go to Hawaii. It's time to start your live list. It's time to let go of your bucket list and start truly living your live list. And I was like, I still get goosebumps to this day, just hearing that. And I felt into it and I'm like, yeah, this feels like truth. And the same day I told my brother, the same day I told my sister. And telling my family was probably one of the hardest things I did because I'm like, oh, they're going to think I'm cuckoo. I've lost my mind. This means closing down because I had two businesses, my solar line business and my physio practice. This means closing down business. This means packing up my life. And I'm like, this feels right. This is true. And so I did that. I literally started taking aligned action. And I'm like, okay, that means I move out of my place by July. Okay. And within that first few days, I had spoken to a friend. I said, because I had all these Pilates equipment in my home, and I'm like, well, this has to be sold. And I had just a spontaneous conversation with her. I said, by the way, are you interested in buying any kit? And she's like, yeah, sure. I said, because I'm moving. I'm leaving the country. I'm going traveling and I'm closing my business. She's like, yes, I'll take it. And by the way, I've got a spare room. So when you move out of your place, you can come and stay with me for however long you need. I said, how long do you need? I said, oh, I think about 5, 6 months. That should do it. And literally within the same week of making my decision, my accommodation had been lined up until the time I was meant to leave the UK. So,
Wow.
yeah,
That is magical. It's like when you say yes to your soul and to your mission, to your path, and you take the leap of faith, the universe is like, oh, you believed in you. You took the risk. You bet on yourself. I got you now. It's like,
yeah,
oh my goodness. I love that story.
thank you.
It seems like it's the theme because I was asked to go on a path and travel and share my life and leave everything behind and let go of everything so I can have it all. And it seems like a lot of us around the world are receiving the same call.
Yes,
So
it's a beautiful calling, and I think when we answer that call, there's so much that we have held on to that we need to let go of to really like lighten the load, to actually set our souls free, so that we can soar, so that we can fly, so that nothing is weighing us down as we take that soul leap.
how is that for your family where I mean you left your entire life behind?
Yeah, um, there were some challenging moments. I won't lie. But what has been beautiful is that there we've been able to witness and celebrate each other in such a beautiful way now. We're able to see each other's soul paths. And yes, there were moments that were really hard because standing alone on your own path means not being in someone else's path, means not being someone else's lifeline, means walking your
Mm,
own sacred path.
mm.
And there are parts where if you've been a recovering rescuer, then that might be challenging or hard, or will really hit home. And there was so much grief that I had to process within the first week of making that decision. I literally took a week off and I reflected on the last 26 years of my life up until that point. I celebrated, I witnessed the journey of the person of who I had to become in order to make that decision. The version of me who was there in that seat in March last year, that, all the versions before that came along the way, that got me to that point, all the experiences, the growth moments, the pivotal moments that allowed me to expand into the version that I had become. I acknowledged all of that, everything I gifted to everyone, the mission that I was doing, because I knew that my mission had changed as I was exiting the UK. My mission had rerouted to something different. So there was a lot of identity shift work that I was completing and doing, and just allowing myself to have space to grieve the life that I had created in the UK, grieve everything that I thought would be the version of the life that I was gonna lead, and open myself up to what I was being guided to say yes to and more of.
So the angels, the universe had a slightly different plan for you.
Oh, yes.
Okay, this is good. We love your practice. We love the work that you do, and that is all good. But you're
Yes.
still walking baby steps. So we're gonna push you to not only leave your life behind, but your identity and anything you knew behind, and start over with no ground, no support, no safety, and to be able to find a home in your heart. Wasn't that
So
the first
true.
lesson?
Huge, huge lesson. So, I remember giving up my home, and, over the past year, I've been coding in a much deeper sense of safety, safety within my heart, safety within my body, safety within my nervous system, of where is home? What is home? And safety within my heart, because a home, a physical home, is isn't really safety. I think we have been misguided that things give us a feeling of safety. A home gives us a feeling of safety. And when you take up the challenge to walk this path, to travel the world, to be a grid activator and be activated as you walk your path, You say yes to activating that deep sense of safety and security within you to a level that you have never known before.
And I feel this openness. I sense that a lot of people in the collective are actually on a verge of like, do I go this way, the same way I've gone before, or do I completely make a leap of faith and leave everything behind? Because sometimes you have to. A lot of things that we have, the
Yeah,
house, the items, these are things that are holding us in one place. We're meant to fly. And if the things are
absolutely.
holding you one place, like you can't move, you can't go to even to take time to be in nature,
Yeah.
then that becomes a jail. What would you say to somebody that is in that moment? Because it is a scary move. It's beyond terrifying. It might be easier for a child, but for an adult, especially like when you're a certain age and leaving the career and everything you need behind, because you went through this transition, why would you advise them in this moment when that pivotal moment, like, how do I make this path, this transition easier? What would you say to them?
Hmm. Firstly, my guides are telling me to share with you all that I am 49. So I made this decision at 48 that walking away was the right decision. So in less than 5 months, I'm 50. So there's never a wrong time to do this. There's never an age
I
that is
just
off
want to applaud.
limits.
This is so amazing. Go ahead.
There's never, an age where there's a cutoff point where I'm too old or this isn't going to work. That's just so not true. So that's the first belief I just want to blow wide open for each and every one of you. The other one is I can't do this alone. That is also so not true because you can. You are going to find incredible people on your path that is going to be planted by the universe, by the divine. They're going to be put in your path. And I have some stories to tell already. Hasn't been a lot as long a journey as Veronica, but I've already got stories. People have been put in my path, kind of guide me, go, no, 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 not that way, this way. Come on, here you go. And they're just going to land in your lap. You're just like, wow, that was so easy. Is it really that easy? Seriously? And I believe that we have sometimes been conditioned to believing that things have to be hard. And that's also a belief that we get to shift and we get to change. And when we choose this path, we get to decide which lens of life we want to see things through. Do we want to be in it? Do we want to view like the much higher, more spiritual view? And yes, we've got to be in life and have both views. But we also have access to so much support, wisdom, seen and unseen. And the more we say yes to the soul lead path, your intuition, your guidance, your gifts, they're going to blow wide open because you are saying yes to walking the path of the unknown. You are saying yes to being guided, to being led, and you are surrendering your own plan of what you believe your life should look like. When you're willing to do that, so much changes. It
Mm.
is going to require a lot of courage, faith, and trust. And I believe these are muscles that every step of your journey, you are going to be strengthening. You are going to be fortifying with each alignment step that you take, each decision that you make it from your heart, making it from your higher self. When you make decisions from that place, they are never wrong. They are always for your highest good. And when you make a decision from that place, knowing that, you've done the right thing for you, for your growth, for your expansion, and for your highest good. So, all I can say is connect with your heart. Make sure that when you're making any decision, you drop into your body. Because if you're thinking about it, you're already in your head. You need to be in your body. So breathe, drop into your body, feel that big, beautiful heart, connect with your soul, hear what she has to say, and always check in to go, is this still my truth? Does it still feel aligned? Does this still feel good? Because yes, there are going to be moments that still feel scary, right? There are moments when we walk with fear, when we walk the soul aligned path, because fear is always going to be there. Your subconscious is going to have moments of freak out because she's going to go, "What the hell are you doing? This isn't what we agreed to. This isn't what we've always done."
Get back on the
But just
highway.
accept that. Exactly. But just accept that those moments are going to be coming up, because your subconscious is going to have little freak out moments. Drop into your heart, check and go, is this still good? Does this still feel aligned? Does this still light me up in the way I know and believe? The answer is yes, keep going.
So don't allow the ups and downs scare you. Just go for the wave and go with the flow, because the surprises, the growth, the becoming that is on the other side is it's more than any money can ever buy in the world. I'll
It's
share
so
that.
good.
And I've been on this journey for a minute now, and it's the experiences, the thrill, the growth, the becoming. It's quantum. It really is, because when you don't have that safety, the stability, the ground underneath your feet, that familiarity, you have nothing else left but to grow and become and flow with whatever is coming through. It's like, okay, today we're doing this. Okay, tomorrow we're we're here. Oh, so amazing. I would love to hear about your particular modality and how you help people. And I know you've been doing psychotherapy for 27 years. Has your practice shifted, changed? How do you help people right now?
So, as a physiotherapist, I have worked with the body for 27 years, but I've also been through my own journey from the age of 22, where I literally had to learn to listen to my own body. I'd had an injury, a back injury, which means that I couldn't sit for 6 months. I couldn't drive for 6 months. I couldn't work. So, really honing the skill of listening to the body was something that I've cultivated over the past, since the age of 23, so 26 years. And that skill has just grown and morphed into something so much more, such that as a medical intuitive and psychic, I'm able to tap into the body's wisdom and hear what your body has to say, hear and see where the emotions have been suppressed and trapped within the body, and help through quantum healing release that from a body in a safe way, and only release what is ready to be released, because we are going to be doing this work for a lifetime and there's really no rush. We get to grow, we get to evolve, we get to shift, but in a way that the body can cope with, that the body is able to handle the energetic shifts, the emotional and the mental shifts, because the body has the densest energy. And if we go too fast, we just slow down the progress that you're actually making. So, this is a gentle process that we undertake. And being able to see into the body, being able to see where there are hooks, where there are cords, where there are implants, is another layer that is part of the gifts that I have. And I help women come back to the truth of who they are. I help women clear past life trauma, because sometimes we don't even see how the trauma of our past lives may be showing up and mirroring in this life. Things that the coding, the cellular memory that the body carries, but we may not be witness to or aware of, may be linked to a past life that we may be experiencing. So I help women shift whatever is coming up in the aligned way, in the right timing, to align to their highest timeline, so that we can continue to walk our soul paths as soul led, heart centered entrepreneurs, because we are all here to do really important work. We're all here to share our light, to share our joy, to share our truth, to be the beacons of inspiration, of truth, of love, of compassion, grace, kindness, that we have been asked, that we have been guided to come onto this planet to be.
Hmm.
And we can't do this journey alone. We really can't. This is a journey that we all undertake together. We walk side by side, arm in arm, alongside each other. And, you know, I have tried the hard way. I've tried doing it alone, believing that I had to do it alone and do it the hard way. And it took burnout. It took really almost breaking my body to shift those beliefs, those insights. And through my own journeys with Epstein Barr virus, really working on shifting and healing my body from the inside out in a very short space of time. After getting a diagnosis of Epstein Barr, I was able to shift and fully heal within less than a year. And so the body is so powerful. We are all so powerful. Very often we just doubt our own brilliance. And I am here to mirror your brilliance, to shine a light on what you may not have been willing to hear or see or own, and to help you see that.
Mm. Thank you for sharing that. And on the line of body, and I feel like that's something specific to your practice. When a person is dealing with all kinds of disease, sickness, illness in the body, what is your perspective on where the pain comes from and what is the quickest way to dissipate it versus actually believing or going down the route of, okay, I have a diagnosis, I'm not just going to take medications for the rest of my life?
Okay, so I'm going to use myself as an example because sometimes that's just easier. So, about I had burnout, and burnout has several layers to it, which is just, it's adrenal fatigue. But yes, it's a physical manifestation of a belief, of imprints, of coding, you know, that hold that in place. So very often it's our mindset, it's our beliefs, it's energetically what we feel into and are owning that is influencing that diagnosis or that presentation. So the more we can work with what's underneath the diagnosis, underneath the physical presentation, and get to the root of what is influencing or holding that condition in place, be that betrayal of self, be that abandonment of self, be that rejection, whatever that root cause is, the more we can shift and heal that, the easier it is for the physical body to then heal. And, with burnout, the root cause is a belief that I am not worthy, I am not enough, I am not good enough. So shifting that belief, changing that coding changes everything, because that changes the relationship of how you move forward with your body. It changes how the sacred union that I was able to create within my body, such that now she doesn't have to shout. I listen to the subtle whispers. You need that? Sure, no problem. I'll give that to you. You want that? No problem. Okay, I kind of want to do this, but you need that? Yes, no problem. And so sometimes it takes a diagnosis for us to be able to really hear our bodies, but it doesn't always have to be that way. And that can sometimes also be old programming from other lifetimes. I know when I was then diagnosed first with Lyme's disease, that came as a shock because I had already changed my life. I had already downgraded my business. I'd already shifted my beliefs. I was already eating healthy. I was in, a celibate relationship with myself, working on myself, going within, doing the inner work. And that kind of just took me by surprise. And I'm like, okay, this is an opportunity for me to go even deeper. So what am I missing? What am I not seeing about myself, my truth, my beliefs, that is just coming up through the diagnosis to mirror what I was not willing to or not able to see at the time? And then the diagnosis got shifted to Epstein Barr, and I just went that next level deeper. I'm like, this doesn't have to go further than this, because it got caught really early. And I believe in quantum healing, energetic healing. I believe the body can heal. And when we have the right mindset and beliefs, and we get out of our own way, the body holds pure magic, pure potentiality of what is possible. And for me, that's when I really tapped into energetic work even more. That's where I really believed that my body could heal itself. That even though I was doing the physical things, I could also work energetically with my body, emotionally work on my beliefs, work on my mindset, to go, okay, well, what do I really believe? Where are the gaps that need to be filled? So, when we are willing to look at things holistically, I believe that's when we truly heal. When we look at the body physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and energetically, that is true healing. If we only look at the body physically, we're going to be missing certain things. And that's when sometimes the condition may come up again and again for us to then go a little deeper, see something that we weren't able to see the last time.
Do you still have the symptoms of Lyme disease? No, it's completely
Nope.
gone. Love it. Beautiful.
Everything was cleared up within a year. So it's all
Wow.
gone. And
Wow.
I work with a naturopath, and I go back once a year and I have a health checkup. And it's still all gone, 5 years later. So I'm truly grateful.
Mm.
And
So
I
in other
believe that it's all a gift, right? It's just information. It's sometimes the imprinting or the beliefs that we put on top of that, and what we make that believe about ourselves or about the body, that sometimes can complicate things a bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course. So in other words, your anything that we experience physically, that's not the problem. That's actually the end cause of whatever has been going on there, maybe for years. So when we truly want to heal our bodies, we got to go back to the root cause, which is what thoughts, what beliefs, what emotions brought that into your life in the first place. Mm.
Absolutely.
Can you share with us any miracle stories of people completely eliminating disease or any other bodily illness through doing energy
Hmm.
work?
I've worked with a number of women. A lot of women I've worked with shifting energetic body weight. So, and working on gut health, and shifting irritable bowel symptoms, and working on being able to not be bloated. So, a lot of been able to achieve a lot of shifts within just one session. One woman was able to shift about anywhere between 6 to 8 pounds after one session. And one woman was able to shift and heal her back pain that had been debilitating, that she'd lived with for many years. And it through all the work that I've done, I've just brought women back to their bodies. With another woman, she had healed sort of an old wound with her ex-husband, where her feelings of unworthiness, she had shifted that. And in shifting that, it changed her relationship with herself, her relationship with food, because a lot of women that all have food intolerances. And she was able to shift her relationship with how she viewed food. For another woman, she had such bad, her nervous system and her throat would just close up. Her anxiety would get to the point where every time something felt uncomfortable or unsafe, she would literally, her throat would constrict. And after 2 sessions of working together, that shifted. She was able to speak her truth. We reset her nervous system to a new level of safety within her body. She was able to network more easily. She was able to attract her aligned clients more easily. Money came in much easily. Her relationships changed with those closest to her, but also her relationship with food changed. She was also able to check in with her body to see, oh, okay, my throat's closing. What is my body wanting to communicate with me right now? And so that was just so beautiful to witness.
Mm. So what is next for you?
Oh,
You're like,
wow.
Veronica, I just started my my traveling journey. I don't know.
Okay, so what is next for me? All I know is that I'm on the path of the unknown and things are constantly changing. The only thing that is constant is my work, which is so beautiful. But where I am being guided to go, that plan is constantly changing because the version I am today is so different to the version I was in 16 days ago, or even 2 months, or 6 months ago. The version of me that laid out the plan of where I'm going to be going and traveling to. And I can tell you over the past 6 months is that the places that I thought I was going to be visiting, that has constantly changed as well. So I was meant to be going to Costa Rica tomorrow, but literally a few days ago, guidance came through and they're like, nope, this is not where you're going now. And I'm like, okay. So I am actually heading tomorrow to Los Angeles. I'm spending a week with a friend, and then I'm off to Bali for the next 3 months. So that is where I will be. And everything is unfolding just bit by bit. And I walk with change, I walk with the unknown, and it is feeling more and more comfortable with every step I take. It is feeling more and more like home, like this is where I was always meant to be. And so what's next for me is just to share this journey with everyone who is ready right now to be on a journey together of walking the soul led path and of working in the quantum field. So
That's what we're doing
that
right now.
exactly.
There are a lot of things happening behind the scenes as we speak.
Yeah.
And as you're sharing Costa Rica, and I'm like, we've been walking parallel paths because I was supposed to go to Costa Rica too. And then Hawaii came into my path, like, no, this is where you're going now. I'm like, okay, surrender on this
Yeah.
journey because there's so much to an outside eye that might seem very unstable going from place to
Hmm.
place, not knowing where you're going tomorrow, any of that. I mean, me trying to explain to my mom, she's like, but where you gonna live? Where you gonna go? Like, she's I'm like, Mom, I'm home. Whatever I am, I'm home. There are trees, there
Yeah.
are grass. I'm home.
Yeah.
Whatever my heart is. How would you advise somebody that is maybe contemplating or had started a journey of traveling, walking the path of their soul? The main thing is to be present with every moment and truly notice the gift versus looking into the future. What am I going to do 5 days from now? Because, yeah, that's what fear comes in. What is a practice that someone can use to be fully in a present moment and not miss the gift that is right in front of their eyes?
Oh, that is easier said than done. And I can say that because, hand on heart, I always used to be someone. If you asked me 10 years ago, I was always in the future. I was never in the present, never in the past, always in the future. What's next? And you asked me the question of what's next for you. It's like, I have no idea. And being in the present means that you surrender the future to the divine plan that is unfolding, and that your future
Mhm.
is being created with every step that you take. Because every decision that we make, a different path opens up, is how I see it right now. And breath, coming back to the breath, has always been my way of staying in my body. Tapping into gratitude, tapping into joy is how I am able to stay present and grounded in my body. Connecting to the nature around me, the beautiful sunshine, feel that on your skin, feel the wind, feel, the ocean breeze. Yeah, the ocean breeze. It's like, how much more of your senses can you access? Can you turn on? Can you turn the dial up on to allow you to become even more present with your body? How much more can you clear the outside noise, the distraction, the almost the clutter in the ego mind? The more we can sift through of what is just noise and come back to the truth of what in this moment am I meant to receive?
Mm. I was just listening to the Tao Way on the way here, and there was a line that stood so much. It said, you have to let go of everything to have it all. And the visual that I just received as you were speaking, it's you let go of your house, of the familiarity of the tangible stuff, and you found your home wherever you go. And he also reminded me when I did a detox last year and I went 3 weeks, no food. And then the last 3 days, I just did no food, no water. And I was working continuously, like doing retreats and doing all of that. I'm like, how am I still human and functioning? But when I came back and I started eating that food, every sense heightened. I would take a spoon of soup and I would moan. You would think I was doing something else, right? So it's so important to know that when we let go of what's familiar, and that goes with tangible items, that goes with where you are, that goes with anything that you know, including your identity, then you allow the universe to gift you with way more than your imagination could ever perceive. Had I not left my home, I wouldn't be able to travel and experience all of these amazing things and have all of this. I could write stories. I've done in 1 year what I haven't done in my entire life. And that's truly, I love the way you said it. You like you surrender your future to the divine and you trust the divine or the universe has a much better plan for you instead of you trying to plan every day, every moment, every detail.
And
Oh, wow.
when we do that, we miss out on all those magical moments. And me really being more present means I get to witness, I got to be in Cape Town for 4.5 months, which is home. That was just pure magic, just watching my mum's face, just watching her joy, watching my nephew, and just, snapshot, taking capturing these moments that I know I don't get the chance to enjoy them every day. Being with my brother and my sister and being so closely together, physically in the same place. Because right now we're on three different continents. And, so when we have a phone call, it's like a three-way call, making sure we time everything. And so being in Cape Town, I really appreciated the fact that we were all in the same time zone. We were all in the same place. We were able to create these magical moments because I knew that as I walked this path, there were going to be moments that I was going to be missing out on. There were going to be challenges that I was going to face. And it's during those challenges that I get to draw on all of these beautiful moments that allow me to tap into my gratitude, my joy, so that I can walk the path of duality. And even though for a moment I might feel extreme sadness, on the flip side, I can also experience extreme joy. And I am willing to hold it all because I'm all in. I am willing to feel it all. And so it's being with the body, it's being with whatever is coming up, whatever is surfacing, whatever is ready to be released, and doing so without judgment.
So simply being present with what's happening instead of analyzing, judging, trying to figure it out, trying to understand it, trying to put a label on it.
Yeah.
Simply allow. If you feel like crying, cry. If you feel like
Right.
laughing, laugh.
Yeah.
The beauty of being infinite soul in the human body. I feel like we already set the stage to channel a beautiful guided meditations for our VIP members. Maybe we can do something to stay in that soul aligned path. How does that feel for you?
That feels beautiful.
All right,
Okay.
let's do it. Thank you. That was beautiful. It's so amazing to bathe into the exact frequency that I needed at this time. It just felt so yummy.
Oh, I love it.
It's because I do so many journeys with my inner circle. It's always nice to receive a journey guided by somebody else. I'm like, oh, I get to bathe in it too, and just we get so caught up in the 3D reality, and when we do just a simple meditation journey to explore the possibilities within ourselves, we literally can go anywhere in the world. And
You really can.
it just reminded me of your family. I'm like, even though sometimes we might be far away from people we love or family, but we remotely can connect to them energetically. We can meet at a favorite place that we have. Like, okay, let's go to a waterfall together and
Yeah.
be surprised the connections and then the experience that you have just remote traveling like we did
Mhm.
today. And then you'll
Oh,
be
I love that.
surprised they call you or they text you like, I was just thinking about you. I was feeling you. I'm like, yeah, because we went on a journey together.
Yeah, so true.
There are literally no limitations to the possibilities of what we can discover and become with this work. It truly is quantum. Thank you.
Thank you for this beautiful gift and opportunity to share what was wanting to come through for each and every one of you.
I feel like so many of our listeners are on that path, on that crossroads. And it's like, yeah, it's easy for you guys to say, but my situation is this and this and that. And the truth of the matter is, we're always faced with a choice. And every choice leads to another choice, and every other choice leads to another choice. We just heard today the beautiful example of possibilities when you allow yourself to walk your soul's path. So beautiful. Thank you. One question that I want to ask, because when you are on this path and you do decide to pick a whole different way and you're doing this work, and for a moment of transition, your ship might be rocking for a little bit. How does that affect your work? Or does that actually become even more potent?
Becomes even more potent.
Mm.
It really does, because what I've really learned to walk with is divine timing. Is, I've had so many potent downloads over the last 5 years, and Hawaii has been the most potent and powerful portal I have ever stepped through. Seriously. I mean, I landed in Hawaii and the ascension symptoms just were, they were intense, to the point that, I literally needed to take time out to give my body space to be able to process that. And I am no longer rushing. There's a sense of urgency that as we get on our path, we're like, is it now? Is it now? Do I get to share it? And, now, yes, I have that excitement. I have that playful wonder. But now I have tapped into a deeper sense and a deeper knowing with the divine timing piece and the divine timing code, that whatever is meant to be shared and whatever is meant to come through me is for the highest good of all. So, a big part of my journey is sharing the codes that have literally flowed through me over the past 23, 22 days, literally. And it has been intense. It has been so powerful and so potent. And I wouldn't have it any other way. So, everything that is coming through, I just allow it to find the right timing of when that is ready to be birthed and to be shared. And a lot I am sharing, and a lot of pieces first need to be embodied. I'm a 4-6 generator in human design. So the sixth line is the mentor, where you are meant to walk your talk and share your soul journey and your truth. And that is what I fully align to. So in my programs, I give people peeks at the behind the scenes of what I'm going through, of what I'm navigating, because it is only through us sharing our truth that we can also help other people navigate their own journey. So I hope that's answered your question.
Yes, absolutely. You're definitely speaking my language. And speaking about Kauai, I completely understand that. I was in Kauai 3 times last year. And it was the first time that I've learned that trees speak to me, the land speaks to me, and just the amount of awakening and opening and downloads every time I went there, it's phenomenal. But it is a place that has to call you, especially with Hawaii Islands. Like, you have to be called to a specific island because the
Yes.
island is not ready for you. She's gonna spit you
Oh,
out. You're gonna be bit. You're gonna be hurt. Like, it's just, I can tell you stories. And every time I
oh,
went there, I was just welcomed, and I felt like this fairy. I was given gifts and food, and everywhere I would go, I was surrounded by magic. And I'm like, well, this kind of feels like home. So Who knows? Maybe one day we'll build something on that land. I've been seeing visions, so when it's time, I'll give you a call.
Oh, definitely. Because there's 7 islands, right? And I was only called to 3 of them. The Big
And
Island, Maui, and Kauai.
every island is actually associated to a specific chakra, and Kauai is crown chakra. I think it's crown or the third eye. I have to check that.
Serious?
Yeah.
Oh,
Big
how
Island is the
cool.
root. That's why it's like a lot of lavas, a lot of eruptions, very wild energy. That's a good island to begin your spiritual path is the Big Island. And then you keep moving
Wow.
up the chakras.
And
Yeah.
what's Maui?
I
Just
think
out of curiosity.
it might be the heart or the solar plexus. I have to look it up,
Oh,
but it just I
wow.
was curious why Kauai was calling me so much because I've been to Big Island and Maui and yeah, it's the magic there is very, very good for me. And for the listeners out there, if you truly are on a path of learning patience, because that is such a treasure to have in your toolbox, Hawaii is definitely a good place for that. I've learned patience. I've learned to surrender to the moment. I've learned to get lost in time and be in a place for hours at the time and not think of anything. And when you truly learn to surrender to such presence, and it's 444 right now, and another 4 from 24. When you truly learn to surrender to such presence, you realize that you are already home, that you are in heaven. Because we are taught by society, by the system, to always produce, to always go, to always, there's got to be something coming out of you every single time, every single day. And the path of your soul journey, you might have a week, your soul is like, no, this is the time to just lay by the beach and do nothing and listen, and you have to surrender to that. Wow. It truly is a magical place and it's such a pleasure to have you today. In conclusion, what would you like to share with those beautiful souls out there that have got so inspired today to make that leap of faith, to walk the soul path?
This is going to be a journey of coming home to you. When you say yes to the soul lead journey, to walking your soul path, you are saying yes to coming home to you. You're saying yes to coming home to the essence of who you truly are. And with every step you take, you are going to feel more grounded in your knowing, more anchored in your truth, more rooted in your belief than ever before, that you are in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing for you. And so
Mhm.
I am so excited for what unfolds for each and every one of you on this journey. And I'm just sending you all so much love from Kauai.
Thank you, Natalie. This has been so amazing, so delightful, so delicious. And for those of you listening, if ever selling your body is like, oh my goodness, I'm ready to take this path and I want to do it with somebody that is doing it right now. I want to learn. I want support. I want somebody to be that mentor for me when the light might not feel that is there. Then follow this beautiful, amazing being. Well, you'll find the link below and continue your journey of your soul's path because it's truly rewarding and amazing. And it's unlike anything you've ever done before. So be ready, buckle up, and let's go on the ride because this is the time to come back home to you. And sometimes you might have to travel around the world to find your home that was here all along. Thank you. Until the next time.